All right, truth seekers. All right, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Epstein files, but we're going to go specifically into the word beef jerky tonight because we're seeing a lot of stuff happening out there and a lot of people talking about beef jerky, whether it's human flesh or whatever they could be eating. I don't know, but we're going to speculate a little bit. But I think we're going to get down to it, get into it a little detail. I got a couple of transmissions that I'm going to show, which is some of these emails, right? And some of these emails they say some crazy stuff when it comes down to this. Now, we did a little research, our team and I recently, and some people, there are restaurants out there that are serving people. Okay. They're literally serving people and they're not going to go to jail for that. You don't go to jail for that. So maybe we're stumbling on something that maybe a lot of us is like, man, this is crazy, but they're doing it. And there's a reason why they're doing it as well. So we're going to have an open chat tonight. If you get into it tonight with us and also place some stuff in the chat, I'll put it up on the screen because I want this to kind of be a total environment for all of us tonight that we're going to be doing this. Of course, I'm Roderick Martin. This is Truth versus Authority podcast, and I'm here on Forbidden Knowledge, which is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. But you can find me if you want to on my personal channel as well as the Facebook group. But listen, right there, put this on the stage for you. Yeah, so if, you can Google that or go to YouTube and put that in and we can put that down and hit it. All right, so let's get down to it tonight. I'm in a different studio tonight, and so again, we're going to be looking into the chat tonight, seeing who's all in it so that we can do that. All right, so listen, let's talk about it. What do y'all think? Okay, put it in the chat right now. What do you think when you saw the word beef jerky on these Epstein files? Now, we're going to go deep. Like I said, I'll show you a couple of them, and we're going to do that. But what are your thoughts when it comes down to the word beef jerky? All right, and we can kind of see from there. YouTube is down. Someone is saying YouTube is down. I don't know. I don't see it. It seemed to be working pretty much on our end. Okay, so cool. Anyway, again, let's go. Y'all in the chat, what do you think? Someone said it is People's Jerky. All right, you saying People's Jerky, and we're going to be going on from there. I don't think YouTube is down, but other than that, we're live and going. But human, all right, keep going. I'm telling you, this is an interactive live today. We got 400 people in here already. What is it when you hear about this particular beef jerky and everything else? And so I'm pretty interested in that. All right, so all right. YouTube is out. So we're having some streaming problems over there. We're getting a lot of chat saying that it's down, it's back up. My homepage won't work. I don't know. Hopefully it's just not a issue here with the internet or what we're doing. But all right, so let me know in the chat if you can see me okay. I just want to make sure the transmission is good. Put it in the chat here. It's glitching in and out. All right, let me know. Just had some issues as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all right, so let's keep going because maybe they don't want us to talk about some of this stuff that we're doing. Somebody said they can see me fine. They can see you, but nothing else. All right. All right, keep going in the chat. Let me know if it's all good. Give me some thumbs up that it's all good and we can keep going. And pretty much that it's not something on our end. The video is good. All right, appreciate it. I can see you through Strange. Yes, from Oakland. Cool. YouTube is up. Cool. All right, so maybe it was a YouTube issue. All right, so listen. All right. We know now, as you can do some research, there is a restaurant that called Cannibals and whatever. And I went to the website yesterday, and the website saying that people are donating their bodies after a certain time, that they can donate their bodies, and so that they are able to, at this point, cook you up. They can cook you up. And so, but what really gets interesting when we start talking about these Epstein files is that he was talking about sending stuff to a lab. Now, my concern is they wasn't going to a restaurant to get this. Obviously, they may have been doing it on their own. Now, that there may change this dynamics of everything when you start thinking about it. What's the real deal on that? So let's put up a couple of slides here, and then we're going to go deep into it. So the first thing was this. This was up on the website at first, and the DOJ took this down, and obviously it looks like jerky, but they're just saying, is it real jerky? And they took this particular picture down. It was the only one that the DOJ put up, but ultimately they took it down. They didn't want anybody to see it after that, especially when the word started getting out about this jerky and everything else. And so I think that was the first problem that they was running into. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's look at the verbiage of what's happening. So we're going to break this down. Now, yeah, I'm a jerky lover. I love jerky. In fact, there was a few companies now that I go out and buy some things, and I like to get the jerky there. But we're going to go over what's really happening when it comes down to these Epstein files. And the first thing we're going to talk about is trauma. You know, we're talking about trauma bond placement. We want to talk about how these files are talking about this trauma stuff. Now, of course, you know, we're talking hidden in public, and you know, they got public release. They want to act like that they're releasing things when things are not being released correctly, right? When you start thinking about it. But what we are seeing is authority in the light that it really is. That obviously at some point you can be at the top of the food chain and ain't nothing going to happen to you. Somebody talking about cook your own food. Yeah, I'm with you on that, right? And so, yeah, y'all know I'm tied into reptilians. That's just what I talk about from there. We're going to get into the redacted, what that really means when we're seeing stuff that's being redacted. We're going to take it all the way back to symbolic meaning so that you understand that in Black Law Dictionary, these people are playing word magic and games when they're talking about that with us. We can talk about the systematic truth when it comes down to this blood stuff, right? It is something that they need to be looked at it, but if we see it with our own set of eyes, you're going to know exactly what is happening. You can also talk about the bureaucratic stuff. We can get into that tonight a little bit of how it don't really matter. Once they up on the top of this thing, it don't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, or you some type of person against this, against that. They don't care, and definitely they're running this thing the way it's going to do. We're also going to get into low vibrational legal darkness. This is something that you have to understand, that when they're trying to lower your energy and they're lowering your energy, they're going to do this with low vibrational things. And it comes from this legal darkness of what they're doing from there. Also, neutralizing outrage is, I mean, these people, it's called problem, reaction, solution. Okay. They create a problem, then we react to it, and then they come back with the same solution or a solution that we think that it was for us, but it's really a control mechanism. And so those are things that we want to pay attention to, especially when we see the release of these files and the way these files are doing. And so we're going to get deeper into this beef jerky, okay? Because I got a few emails that I'm going to put up on the screen here. We're going to dissect this as a group today. Another part of this, people, this stuff is designed to go after your nervous system, to get you exhausted, to keep your energy down. Because remember, everything is energy harvesting. They're always harvesting the energy. And so when you start seeing these files, the way these things are put out, it is definitely for that very reason. And so therefore, it's up to us to really pay a good attention to that, and we'll get into that as well. Then you want to talk about what's happening behind closed doors, I should say. This is the archetypes. This is what's going on from there, and pretty much. And so is that screen frozen over there too? Yeah, so we can kind of pretty much see what's happening there. Now, once again, give me a video audio test in the audience here. Let me know if you guys are hearing everything okay as we get into showing some of these files and everything else. So I just want to know how things are rolling. Okay, and pretty much. All right. So some people saying, okay, YouTube. Oh, so is this an outage that YouTube been having today? I didn't hear anything about it. It is? So, okay, well, then that's YouTube stuff. Then we get into it. All right, so what you see on the screen, everyone, is if you live in the Dallas area or near Dallas, or maybe you're in Houston, Austin, or somewhere nearby, put in the chat. Put in the chat that you are from Dallas, or leave a comment or something, and get on our text list, okay? We're doing a lot of stuff here in Dallas, and so that's the text number. Hop on there. In fact, in a couple of days, we're going to have our first movie night as a community, and you're going to be able to come out, and there's no charge. Come out to our event, holds about 60 or 70 people. And definitely it's a movie night. And we're going to be watching 3 episodes of one of the most profound stuff and having a group discussion about that afterwards. So let's put up here on the chat and we can see what we got going on from there. All right. So at this point, let's go with this. Now, this is from a lady called Francine's, or whatever her name is, Derby, or to Francine from Sarah. Sarah was a previous girlfriend of Epstein, okay? And they talk about this in the files there too. Now, in this file, they make all these conversations about beef jerky. But what's going to stand out to you, and I'm going to show you to in a moment, is they start talking about what they're doing with this jerky and how this is going on. And it became a staple of Epstein's meal plan, right? Now, we already know that there was a woman that came and said that he was a reptilian, that he shapeshifted. And so therefore, why wouldn't they be eating some flesh and stuff like that? But again, there is a restaurant out there that we'll talk about in a minute that you can go and buy some stuff yourself. And they talk about how they only use young tempted meat. Now, in here, this particular email, he's just talking about how the dog and in the fridge and they're making jokes about this beef jerky. But think about it. These people are billionaires, or a lot of these people got mega money. And why would you make a big deal out of beef jerky all the time? Okay. And then in the files, as you know, they start talking about DNA and how they wanted to make sure people had the right DNA and who had the DNA and what they was doing with the DNA, which definitely told you that there was some strange stuff that's happening when it comes down to it. And it's worth looking into. All right. And once again, we're going down the reptilian agenda. This is things that I talk about going down the road, the route, and everything else. And so it is not uncommon. But check this one out. This one is very important. I want y'all to look at this real closely. If you can see the screen on this one, this is an email that said Jeffrey Epstein told someone else that he's going to start eating regular food again. So he may be eating less jerky. All right. We already know that less jerky is a metaphor for them talking about eating, human consumption, and so he's saying that he's going to stop eating this stuff, which is whatever, and he's going to eat regular food again, right? And I'm like, regular food. So they're blatantly saying this in the files. But when you go do your research, and you should, because you're a truth seeker, you're going to find out that they're not breaking any laws. They're not breaking any laws of eating people, so to speak. However, I'm sure the processing could be a little different of how they're getting these people from this. And so, again, there are places where some of these movie stars and everything else. Now, what they're saying is that supposedly the eating people can rejuvenate the body and all this. Now, they make Pacific Moment in here that you have to be really healthy for them to eat you. So I guess I'm lucky. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I could provide a family of 12 a feast for a month. But obviously, in this case, it's you healthy people, all you people that's just really trimmed down to the, and looking all good the way you do it, luscious and everything else. They're going to tear you up. They're going to tear you up. So I'm not saying it in a bad situation, that I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud that you've eaten greens and everything else, but you're a commodity, baby. You are a true commodity. So I just want good job to you. Me probably, being, a little luscious. They probably like, we don't want that because you are what you eat. I eat a little candy. They don't want that. But I'm just saying that somebody talking about eating unhealthy. I know, right? It's now you want to go get you a McDonald's every now and then. Just, I'm not saying a daily dose, but at least eat your Big Mac every month or so, just to put it in you, right? But then what did they say? You're probably eating the same thing because, man, there's a lot of food consumption and these cows and chickens and stuff is not there, and pretty much, but they're saying this right in plain sight. All right, so we have Sheila. Let me put that on the board right there. Dallas. Hey, if you in Dallas, get on the text list, okay? Billy being here in Dallas. Yaya is coming to Dallas. We have an event center. This is where I'm at now. We are doing so many different things up here. We have movie night for our community where we're watching some esoteric stuff and discussing it. Even this Friday, Sheila, and it's free, just free. It's come up. But get on the text list. If you're in Dallas, Houston, wherever surrounded that you want to come up, get on our text list. And again, let's do it. And if you're watching this after the live, and put a shout out in the chat that you're in Dallas, and then when you reply to this video, and we'll kind of go. Somebody talking about bar cut McDonald's. All right, so let's get down to another piece of evidence here as we continue. And like I said, this one, I'm put this one back up because I want this to set the tone. It says, and someone said, just wanted to touch bases about jerky. Once again, they're talking about this jerky. And it says J.E., as you should know, is Jeffrey Epstein, said that he's going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. Now, that said, he has 6 bags of it downstairs in the freezer for his next trip, and I believe it should be enough to get him through. Any other question? To get him through what? A shape-shifting moment? What? A moment of relapse? I mean, they're talking like this jerky is the jerky of jerky, okay? And so as we keep going, but let's think about all these files being redacted. I'm going to take you back to what I call a little word magic, okay? It's real important that you understand when we see these words, and always remember the Black Law Dictionary is the true form, and everything that they're doing is word magic. So when you start thinking about the word redacted, okay, let's look at it. Is redacted comes from the Latin root redactus, all right, redactus, and it has a meaning, and the meaning means driven back, okay? It has a meaning, all right? So when you start seeing these words and how they're redacting everything, they're actually putting word spells when they do this. Now, it also meaning forced into hiding or whatever. So you're redacted or it's redacted. And so, or at one point in time, it meant vanish witness, okay? Redacted meant vanish witness. It also was hear me out, redacted also was a primitive erasure, like eraser spell. It was a spell, okay, that what they would use the word redacted. And so I don't know how they're probably trying to use it when we're looking at these redacted forms, if it's some type of spell, whatever, but we know enough that it's something for you and all of us to pay attention to it. So when you go to Black Law's Dictionary, they modified it, or you go into a corporate world, they sanitized the word, right? But it also meant missing person contract, all right? Think about it, missing person contract. So when they use these true words within the world that we're in, but doing the stuff that they do, then it all ties into the whole thing. So if you start thinking about their occultism or the elites or the reptilian agenda, all the stuff they're doing, and they're using the word redacted, and then of course the hidden meaning is missing person, and all of a sudden all these people names in here is redacted, and it's crazy because they're using spells. Look it up for yourself. They're using spells, and it also has other meanings, how all of this stuff is the jurisdiction of what we call the voidness and all of this. This is really, these people are playing a total different game when they come behind it. Maverick said, who's behind all of this? Well, I will tell you this part. They ain't human. They ain't human. Let me put it this way. Wonder who's behind all. They ain't human. All right. We just want you to know that who all behind this is not human, okay? And these people take these things to another level. The jerky has adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is something, painter, that you all know that this is what they've been after quite some time, the adrenochrome, and as well as they get it from the children, and how allegedly that supposedly it heightens up everything from there. So it is something that you want to really think about it. But I'm going to take you back again. When you think about the word redactus, where it came from, the red in the word redactus was what they meant, blood, okay? It had a hissing sound in the sea, but it also is something for you to kind of look at too. It's the scripted silence. So a lot of this stuff they do, like I said, on purpose. But we're going to go deeper into some of this stuff here as well. as we can see. I'm gonna put up a couple of more of these emails, and so we can see where else we're gonna take this down to a rabbit hole. Someone else. Oh, we talked about this dog thing. Now, this right here should throw everybody for a frenzy. I want y'all to look at the screen, pay close attention to it. I'm gonna read it to you. He says, "I hope you're feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky?" Right here now, should the FBI, the swimming ducks, the Navy SEALs, everybody should have jumped in on this. Like, just go knock on the door. Why do you need to analyze jerky? All right. Now, we already know what they was doing, but what that meant probably is they're looking for some very seasoned jerky, right? They're looking for some jerky that has some special something in it. And if we know what the jerky is, that goes back to who had something in it or in them or whatever you want to look at it, because you got to put two to two together. Now, of course, we're alleging all of this, and because it's the entertainment purposes only. But what I'm saying is, why would you have to analyze some jerky unless you want to know what was in the jerky? And now, if you start going back to all of the files and the DNA and all of the stuff that they were doing, remember he was doing DNA, he was doing cloning. His hands was in all the cookie jars when it came down to people, and they were searching. And when you do go to this restaurant that I'm going to show you in a little bit about cannibalism or whatever, that's the name of the restaurant. And if you go to their website, they tell you that you're eating the best taste of people. Literally, they're telling you that they got the finest of the people that you're going to taste. And they have some type of lasagna. And there was one lasagna, placenta lasagna. Are you kidding me? So we'll get into that in a minute. But why would you analyze jerky? So right there alone will get you to take things in a whole nother level. And let me put this up. So here is the lady who works at this cannibal restaurant. Okay. Now she's up here doing an illustration. Now, I don't know if y'all can see that as much as I can see, but I know that thing got a head, two arms, a legs, and she's talking about how the best tasting part of it. So obviously, if I was really good to eat, I do got a little muscle, but that is a little something I'm working on, but that would probably be tasty. And so they'll probably just eat me right on up. And but like I said, if they want to cuisine, they're going to eat some of you real lean people when they look at it and stuff. Someone said I thought cannibalism was against the law. Donald, I don't think it is in all 50 states. Okay. And way this restaurant this said is that people prior to their leaving already signed a contract or some kind of deal with them to do this. In fact, some of the thoughts of some of these weirdos, and unless we know something, they know something we don't know. And so we'll give them that. But some of the thoughts of these weirdos is that they rather for their bodies to be or the DNA be replenished into human existence again by people eating them. So by somebody eating them, they're put back into the food chain or the human chain or some point. And so there is some type of reason that they're doing this. Okay. And so, but again, it is totally legal. Now, we got to think about the process. Now, it's illegal for you to capture some people, take some people against their will and go put them in a cage in a pot and begin to season them up a little bit and put them in a frying pan and sizzle. Now, that part is probably illegal. But so that goes back to when you're hearing all this beef jerky statements and things within this files, then that's your question to go, well, where are you getting all this meat from? Obviously there's a place where they're getting all this meat. And so I think that's worth that people are probably outraged about it because they're just seeing this right here in plain sight and everything else. But yeah, and they do legal. You're right. I am Cass. They do illegal stuff daily with a D. But that's where truth versus authority comes in. That's where the fight where we are, because listen to what I'm about to say. See, what we're witnessing, what we're truly witnessing with these files is that there is a different level of life being on an elite side, right? Again, we're seeing that they're doing things that we can only fathom. They're getting away with stuff that, some people is put under the jail for, right? And now you got to think about it because of seeing these redacted files that anybody named that's showing up right now, those people are expendable to them. The people that we don't need to see, we're not going to see them. We're not going to see them. That's just not happening, right? But they're going to make sure that everyone else is out there. Someone saying, don't be naive with against the law nonsense. Look at who's talking about it here. Look at who we're talking about here. You're correct. I have to, I have to be kind of, allegedly speaking, but you're 100% correct. I mean, we know what's happening, right? We know that this stuff is just about as crazy as it can get. There's Rax in the house. What's going on, Rax? They said there was a few things happening with YouTube, and pretty much. Chill Will says in the United States there are no laws explicitly prohibit cannibalism per se. However, most, if not all, states have enacted a law that makes it effectively impossible to legally and obtain. Well, now that's probably why that restaurant, Cannibalism and whatever, or Cannibal and whatever, said that people signed themselves over to them. People signed themselves over to them. So I don't really know how that would go and how that's going on from there. But that is crazy when it comes down to that, and pretty much. And so I don't know if you all know. Let me see if I can find a picture of the greatness of Yaya here. And but I don't know if you guys know, who she is. But go to Yaya's World is what I would say. On Instagram, and check her out. But anyway, she's going to be here in Dallas. We're going to have some conversations. Let me see if I can put it on the screen, and then y'all can kind of see who we're talking about here. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the screen real quickly as we continue down where we're heading to. And pretty much, I don't have my thing here. No. Oh, there we go. Let's bring that down. Let's bring that down. All right. So let me put it over here on the other screen, and we will continue as we go. But anyway, let's do this. I'm going to share a screen with you, and then you can kind of see who I'm talking about. And yeah, we can share a screen. All right. Share screen. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Window, Chrome tab. Let's go to, well, you know what? Never mind. We're going to keep talking. But anyway, so I don't know that what you would think about these days and how this world is. But what we do know is these people are playing by a different set of rules, okay? Different set of rules. And those different set of rules is something for us to truly pay a close attention to when they're doing what they're doing. Now, right here on the screen, this is just a quick, I just found a quick photo of my friend, y'all. I'm just trying to make sure. On the screen, do y'all know who this lady is? I'm gonna put that on the screen, put it in the chat right now. Have y'all seen this lady on Instagram, maybe Facebook, maybe whatever? Have y'all seen this lady anywhere? So I just want to make sure if you have, let me know. Not that we're looking for. We know where she is. She's going to be in Dallas March 14th. We're going to be doing a community event, and we're going to be breaking it down. All right. So if you decide that you coming to Dallas and you want to, also, we're going to be live streaming the event with her too. So if you know who she is, Yaya's World, y'all know how deep she is and where she goes. So she's going to be here in Dallas, here live. And then, but we also going to be live streaming. So you can get you a ticket. Yeah, it's, come down. She's going to be live, but you can get a live stream ticket too, if you want. To kind of check everything out too. Let me make sure I put it on the screen so that you could, go to our website and then you'll be able to get that. But anyway, let's keep going because we got a lot of stuff to go to tonight. And that's the website right there. There's your website on the screen. and you're able to come and check out our events, and let's get back on it. Yeah. All right. So let's get into some more about this jerky. All right. Because another emails that surface, and let me show you a couple of more of these emails. One in particular says, are you flying? And I would like to collect some more jerky. And so basically, in a nutshell, these people have been trying to make sure that they are uh, eating this stuff on a plane. They're eating this jerky everywhere. They're making sure everybody have it. People are like, I want some. If not, can you get me some? You know, I gotta have some of this jerky. And it's like, it is the hottest thing in town. This jerky is the hottest thing in town. It's something that they are saying that they gotta have. You gotta have it, in everything else. And it's the hottest thing in town. I don't get it. You know, again, I'm not a jerky eater, but I definitely understand. Well, I do eat jerky. What am I lying about? I love some beef jerky. Now I just kind of wonder where it's coming from. You know, now you got to really, call the restaurant, like, where did it actually is, because they're calling it beef jerky, or we beef. You know, is human beef, or are we cattle? What would a human jerky be called? You know, at the end of the day. So I don't know. But it's just crazy. And so let me ask y'all a question right now. I need some spirit of honesty in the chat. I'm gonna ask this two ways. First way is, would you eat some human beef jerky? Or, let me know. Would y'all eat, I mean, if somebody seasoned it up really good, put some good old barbecue, whatever you like, your favorite herbs, and saute this thing up, would you eat some human beef jerky? Would you taste it? Would you just try it? Would you try it? And then if they tell you have nutritional benefits, that it'll turn back aging, make you feel like Superman, and give you all this energy, and better than Viagra and stuff. For the men, it's and women, it just makes you just super, super, rainy. I don't know. I'm just making up some terms here. But would you eat the beef jerky, ladies, if it made you super rainy? And men, if it just made you, donkey donk or whatever, I'm just saying, would you eat it for the benefits? You know what I'm saying? Look, everybody talking about, hell no. You get what I'm saying? Now, y'all remember the movie? There was a movie that they crashed. I think it was called Alive or whatever. Remember the team? They had to start eating each other to survive, and one of them took the first bite, eating his cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, people talking about, what did he say? He said people said it tastes like pork, but better, like, I don't know, 20x better. I'm just telling y'all. I'm saying I don't even do sit-ups to get a six-pack. So you're going to be okay. They going to eat you. Yeah. So I'm saying we're talking about the benefit. Somebody said, are you a cannibal? I don't know if they're asking me that. I guess, hey, if eating cows and stuff, but no, I'm not going to, you better believe. Now, I guarantee you, if we all were sitting on an island together, and we all 400 of us was sitting on an island, and we ran out of cows, chickens, and fish, and everything else, and we start looking at each other, who will be the first person we're gonna eat? Who are we're gonna eat? Somebody thin that looks like they're all healthy in bones, or you're gonna go for the juice? You're gonna go for the stuff, because obviously there's something in this stuff, right? And let's continue. So what I want to do, though, let's take it to an esoteric level of what's going on with Epstein, so that we can go deeper. Okay, so people just kind of know that this is more than that meets the eye, right? When we get down to what's going on, think about the logic behind binding, the centurion stuff, the esoteric thing of why they're eating these people, right? Or think about Cronus and all of the stories that you hear, the Black Sun, okay? All of this stuff ties into what they are doing, right? We can talk about shadow war, shadow side. We can talk about the taking these bodies and whatever they're cooking into. Maybe they put in the freezer. They're taking the solar wheel. They're doing something that they can. Somebody say, who can help a brother out short on the rent this month? Well, hey, all you got to do is call that restaurant Cannibals and whatever. I'm telling you, Gustav or whatever, call that restaurant Cannibals and something. Tell them that you want to go ahead and do a whatever deal with them. They'll send you some change for that body of yours. They'll send it to you. I'm telling you that it's on their website, bro. It's on their website that they'll do this, right? And so if you, I'm telling you, you might be, I don't know what it would be worth, to eat. They might be like, oh yeah, we're gonna tear you up, and here's 5 G's right now, whatever. I don't know how they come calling when they know that it's time to come and get it, but they definitely but they did say that they like young, tasty morsels. All right. They really like young, tasty morsels in that on the website and stuff. And so what is that web link over there? I'm gonna put it up on the screen, TK. And I'll try to do a screen share and see if we can do that. But yeah, it's a, again, they are saying that they will allow you to, feast. They will feast off you. Somebody said that. Someone said I'm 47, so I'm effed. Yeah, you know what? You might be a little too old. The meat is a little too hard, huh? I can't hear you. Oh, in the chat. Oh, okay. Not yet. It's probably a delay on my end, but yeah. So it'll come up though. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, if you're a little old, they may not want to eat, but I know they want the young meat and everything else, and pretty much. Let me go back and see if I see it in this. I don't see. Maybe it hasn't popped up on my end yet. You placed it in the chat? Yeah. Okay. So I don't see it right now. There is probably a delay or something. It'll probably pop up a little bit. But I'm gonna put a website on the screen for y'all in a minute that you go to the website, and that is the restaurant that is for the cannibalism and everything. Go to that restaurant, and then you're gonna see everything. You're gonna see in real time what is going on there, and pretty much there. So, what is the name of that restaurant? I'll put it up in. I don't see your stuff in the chat. What's the name of the restaurant? What? Just spell it out to me. Who? Cannibal. Cannibal Club. Cannibal Club. All right, so I have it here. They talking about cuisine. Let's go. Man, we're gonna put it on the screen for y'all right now. So y'all check this out. We're gonna put on the screen the restaurant that they're buying their food from, and let this restaurant tell you what they're doing here. All right, so boom, there you go. That is the restaurant. All right, the Cannibal Club restaurant. All right, and from their menus, from everything else, they are saying they have some steak there. Let me see if I can find this and read it a little more, since it's right here on my screen. But you also be able to see that. All right. So look at what they got here. They got a placenta lasagna. Placenta lasagna, y'all. And it's an otherwise traditional lasagna with one layer of cheese substituted by minced placenta and a heirloom tomato sauce seasoned with garlic, onion, and oregano. They got Mrs. Lovett meat pies. A delightful pie and genuine puff pastry cloaked with locally grown vegetables and tender strips of meat. Now, we know what the meat is, okay? They got a liver and mushroom pierogi, a Russian version of pierogi baked rather than boiled with savory filling of wild mushrooms and liver. They even got a penne pasta. Now, again, frequently asked questions. Where do you get your meat? It says our avenues of procurement, most of the businesses and institutions supply us, prefer us those relationships to be discreet. On the individual level, bodies are often bequeathed to us, And for some, this is the way to supplement life insurance, offset funeral expenses, and for others, such as a cannibal club. Now, could you imagine your family telling you they're just going to go sell you to get eat because they don't want to bury you? And they're saying that this is an attractive alternative to more traditional practice, burial and cremation. And does cannibalism cause disease? Prior diseases of nervous system. Look at it. Prion diseases of nervous system, such as Kuru, are associated with consumption of the brain tissue, which is not part of our menu. So there you go. They're saying that because they out here messing with our minds, if they can distort your mind and mess it up a bad brain, they're not. I'm assuming they're saying we're not going to eat that. And they're saying we take considerable care to ensure that all of our meat is produced legally, ethically, and ethically. So what the hell is that? what what is the hell of ethically meat? You know what I'm saying? And they won't tell you who the suppliers are, but you can go to their website, y'all, and it's cannibalclub.org, and you go check it out. Now, if you want to go eat there, you're going to have to be in the inner club. They're not just letting anybody go eat there. Some talk about castic being buried without the body. Well, yeah. Somebody talk about, I'm white. I don't do this garbage. I don't know what that means, but whatever you're trying to say, welcome to you, you know, at any given point, because whatever it is, these people don't really care and they are doing what they're doing. All right. So with that being said, if you've been paying close attention to these Epstein's files, tell me, what is your thing? What sticks out to you the most? Like I said, let's do an open discussion. Put it in the chat here. What stick out to you the most on what they're doing? What do you see? What are you hearing? Because I'm sure there's 5 million files, the first release, right? By the time they finish, it's going to be 15 million or 20 million documents. And they already know there's no way people are going to go through all of that. They're going to hope that it causes fatigue, right? And once it causes fatigue, people are going to stop searching, and therefore it's going to die off unless there's a smoking gun that really happens. So what else is something that someone said only 3 million files from 600 million? Yeah, well, shoot. So that's crazy. It sounds like people form somewhere else here. It's limited hangout. Thank God has overcome this world ruled by wickedness. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, the whole point is ain't nothing we can do about it. Ain't nothing going to be done about it. All right. You're going to have to figure out how to navigate your life and do it, because nothing is going to happen to these people. You already seen that, right? You've seen that, you know, there's no heads rolling, you know, from the release of these files. There's no head rolling. And yeah, you can have AI to review the documents, but you got to input it one at a time. They're not giving it to you in a file. You know, they're using the word files, but they're not giving you a file with all the documents attached to one, you know, where you can have something to read through them. They're releasing them one document at a time. And so therefore that's done on purpose. That's done on purpose to not only throw everybody off, but to do that. So right now, for those of you, if you don't mind, hit the like button if you finding any value, any kind of value in this concept tonight. And pretty much from there, just hit the like button, and that'll get this algorithm to kind of share this out. Like I said, we can go some more directions. I got more stuff that we can talk about with these beef jerky. But again, what stands out to most, if you just hopped on with us, was then when he said that we need to analyze the beef jerky. See, right there should have been a trigger for them having conversations that they're getting beef jerky. And then it was like, we'll make some more. We'll make some more. If they're making their own beef jerky, they're not going to the restaurant, people. They're not going allegedly to the restaurant if they're saying in these emails that they're making their own beef jerky. Like, we're going to make some beef jerky. Or I'll make you some more. Oh, I got bags of it in the freezer. Oh, we have to, oh, he needs his beef jerky. Oh, he gets upset if he's not getting his beef jerky. These people are making this stuff themselves. That alone we need to know, where is it originating from? How did you get it? You're out on an island, you're on an island somewhere. How are you getting this jerky to make it? And so those are things that I think people will say. Um, what is happening and what is going on, when it gets down to it. And so, but unfortunately for us, that is just not much we're going to be able to do about it, because obviously this has been going on for quite some time. Now you got to remember, we're looking at files from 2012. That's more than 15 years ago. You know, imagine how many things and people has been done in the last, well, since I think he went down in 2017 or something, but that don't mean that all those people who's been going back and forth talking about jerky don't still walking around here eating stuff in people, so that definitely doesn't mean that, so I think it's something that you will want to think about and be like, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some sick people, some very sick people. Now, do you believe? I got a question, put it in the chat. Now, does this take you to reptilian conversation? Do this stuff and what they was doing, the blood, the children, the alleged trafficking, the alleged, all of this stuff, do that now lead us down a path? Or are we talking about we just dealing with some sick people? Or can we now say that it is tying us into a possibility of some reptilian stuff? I want to know what y'all think. I want to know what you think about that. I want to know globally, overall, what do you see? What do you think? That do this takes you down the road of reptilian existence? Just don't leave me here by myself. Let me know what you think. Do it or don't it? Because I think it does. I really do. I think it does take us down that path. Clearly, right off the bat, that there could be some reptilian things happening. All right, so we have a bunch of people. Rack saying yes. All right, great. We have Just Joy. What's been up? It's been a while. She's saying, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we have, 369 say yes, in a way, yes. All right. All right, here's the deal too. There is 300 of you in here right now, almost 400 people. We started a new Facebook group, okay? A new Facebook group called Truth versus Authority. It's a rebellion. It is where we're going. We're going to soon start posting quiet things inside there, having group discussions. And I'll put it on the screen. You can screenshot this so you can find it later when the show is over. But this is what it looks like. Group, Truth versus Authority community. It's a community. So make sure at any given time that you definitely go there and screenshot this, come into the group on Facebook, okay? Truth versus Authority on Facebook, hop into our group, and we're going to be building some stuff there. We want everybody to kind of contribute there. We do approve those posts, though. We got to look at them first so that we're not getting spam. But anyway, go into Truth versus Authority group and Facebook group, and we can make sure that goes down as well. So again, all right, so Killer says, yes, these people are reptiles. Most definitely. Who is this? My guy right here, R Rich or whatever, WRTV channel. All right, most definitely reptilians, and a reptile hide underground, avoiding the sun. There you go. Yeah, and now that we are looking at this way, we have to then start realizing that there's some other stuff. That's why these global leaders are attacking Iranian people. They're doing a lot of stuff daily, of course. A lot of stuff out there. But this, I think, is a good time for people to understand that the reptilian agenda is real. It's about as real as it gets, right? That now, when you start thinking about the benefits of them eating these people, doing things, you go all the way back to vampirism. You go back to all the mythical stories of, blood drinking vampires and everything else. It all starts coming together that this stuff still exists today. And it's not something that we are looking at in Transylvania a long time ago. this stuff is happening today. And the question is not why, where, or when, right? And so they're doing this right now, and it it's just it is. All right. And so that means that when you start thinking about these people coming up missing or allegedly people that can't be found, what is happening with these people? You know, what is literally happening that the world is unfolding right now that we're being able to see that there are still things happening that you thought was way out in the Amazon jungle somewhere. It's happening in the city life. It's right here every day. Yeah, so you got energy vampires, but what else are they eating? What else are they doing? And what else are they doing? Now, if you all didn't know anything on Roderick Martin, let me give you a quick heads up. You can find a lot of things that I do. You can find me on 11 different TV shows. I'm hosting on Discovery Channel, a TV show. I've been featured on Ancient Aliens. I've been on Forbidden Knowledge TV. I've been on Open Minds. I was a guest on George Norris' show. Again, you can find me on HBO right now. You can find me on Fox TV, different shows that I'm in. And so, again, being a certified UFO investigator and investigating the topics of these things. And so I don't just come to you just from anywhere. You know, I have a background in this and certified UFO investigator as well. And so all of the stuff that when I start talking with you, but we also have private areas that we do a lot of things too, so that you would know when it comes down to what we're doing. And again, you know, the tickets for Billy's going to be in Dallas in April. If you go to our website, entertruth.com, you'll be able to come down and meet Billy Carson and everything like that. So what we're going to ready to do, I'm going to find a few things if I can. Let me see if I have a few more things that we could put our minds to together. Oh, in fact, yeah, here we go. Here is a little clip of Yahya right there. So let's play that.
Eve found the serpent more trustworthy than God, not because of his credentials, but because the serpent said what Eve wanted to hear. A lot of people going to read this and interpret it exactly how they want to, just as I did. I know I'm here to give you the esoteric breakdown. Eve didn't trust.
All right, so I just want to play that clip so that you know who it is. She's going to be in Dallas, okay? And it's going to be pretty cool for her to come down here. But you can watch that if you want to watch it live or live stream. We're going to stream a few things there and pretty much. And so it is very cool that we learn a lot of esoteric stuff, but we're going to be talking about things that we can't talk about. That's what we consider uncensored, and pretty much from there. All right, so with that being said, I just want to thank each and every one of you. Like I said, we're going to be posting stuff in our Facebook group. We're going to be posting stuff in there. So if you go to Facebook group, join, give us a shout out when you get there if that's what you want. But get on our text list if you're in Dallas for updates for our live events. And then even Friday, we're going to do a movie night. There's a lot of ways that, you know, for us truth seekers. Also, if you got something to say, you want to be on the show, you want to be a guest, and you got a camera and a microphone, or, you know, a camera, number one, some good lighting, or whatever. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can go to not contact, but go to truthversusauthority.org. That's our website. And you can fill out and contact us in whatever form. And if you want to be a guest on a podcast, you might want to be seen right here on Forbidden Knowledge. You might want to be right here on the channel where thousands of people are going to see you. Now, if you got something you want to contribute, some good stuff that you're going to tell us about what's happening out here and everything else, or maybe you got an amazing story, one of those stories that we need to hear and talk about, then definitely I want to see you here. But go to our website, contact. Let me make sure I put it on the screen for you right here. There you go. You can go to this website right here, go to the contact form, and I will bring you up on this show. And you can be on my podcast. You can be on this podcast. I'm looking to bring some people out, man. I want you to be seen. I want you to be heard. And again, if you got it, you got it. You got the story and stuff. So, all right. So I want to thank you all for being here. And again, if you want to support the show, you can. Let me take this banner down from the numbers and everything else. And last but not least, there you are. Let me make sure we got there. All right. So, all right. There we go. All right. So I'm going to get out of here, y'all. It's an hour. We're going to go. I'll see you in a few days. You can come to my personal channel. I'll see you there. Roderick Martin, Truth versus Authority. And love you all. Make sure you put I love you in the chat. If you have not heard I love you over this weekend, I want you to know I love you. I know it's Valentine's Day and a lot of people heard the word from someone that they love, that I love you and all that. I didn't. I'm not in a relationship. And so I didn't get that special kind of love, but it's coming, we're going to do it. But if you didn't, then I want to tell you that I love you, that you're a very special person and you deserve to be told that you love, because that's what you are and you are. And so I will just pass that around to each and every one of us from there. If you do find value and you want to support the show, this is a community funded show that we're doing. And so right there on the screen, you can do that. But in the meantime, join us in Facebook group. Okay. Go there when we hang up and then share the word. So see you all. Love you.
UFOs.
UAPs.
Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Who are they? Where are they from? And what is their intent?
All questions that immediately come to mind with the mention of UFOs. A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
This video taken by the Navy showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil is the man who discovered the saucer.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
More people are coming forward with their own sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
Right at that moment, I saw what looked like 5 lights flying in formation in kind of an inverted check mark.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. We don't know what these UAP are.
The mysterious flying objects are still a mystery. NASA will continue investigating them and has appointed a director of UAP research.
Technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Look at the fly!